10 most famous portrait paintings of all time. American Gothic artist, Grant Wood Year, 1930. The house in the painting American Gothic, also known as the Dibble House, is located in Eldon, Iowa, USA. The house is designed in the Gothic style, typical of rural areas. In August 1930, Grant Wood, a famous American painter known for his artworks depicting rural life in the American Midwest, noticed the Dibble House and sketched it on the back of an envelope. The next day, he made a detailed sketch of the house on paper, after obtaining permission from the residents. However, he portrayed the house with people he admired. The artist's dentist, Byron McKeeby, posed as the husband, and the artist's sister Nan Wood Graham posed as the wife. The painting was submitted to the annual exhibition in 1930 at the Art Institute of Chicago, where it won a bronze medal and was later purchased by a local museum. American Gothic is one of the most widely recognized paintings in 20th century American art, and it has been extensively reproduced and referenced in popular culture. 9. Portrait of Madam's artist, John Singer Sargent Year, 1884. John Singer Sargent, an American artist living in Paris at the time, created this painting. He was in his late 20s and working to establish his reputation. Virginie Amélie Arvegno-Gautreau, an American of French descent who had been expelled from the United States, was married to a French banker and was renowned in Parisian society for her beauty. After several years of persuasion, Gautreau agreed to pose for Sargent. When the portrait was first exhibited at the Salon in Paris in 1884, it caused a sensation. Some found it too provocative, while critics compared the model to a corpse, using harsh words like grotesque in its brutality to describe it. Additionally, the media published caricatures and satirical poems mocking both the artist and the model. Despite Sargent's efforts to conceal his identity, the scandal became public. It was a major scandal that forced Sargent to leave Paris and move to London. Later on, Portrait of Madame X became one of the most admired and famous portraits in Western art, earning Sargent considerable recognition. 8. Le Artist, Pablo Picasso Year, 1932. Picasso is widely regarded as one of the greatest artists of all time, and this painting is perhaps his most famous portrait. The painting depicts his French lover, Marie-Thérèse Walter. Unlike his later companion, Dora Maar, whom Picasso often portrayed as tormented or threatening, Marie-Thérèse is depicted as a radiant blonde girl in the painting. In March 2013, Larave was sold in a private sale for $155 million, making it the 5th most expensive painting ever sold at that time. As of August 2017, this price was the second highest ever paid for a Picasso painting, after Women of Algiers, which was sold for $179.4 million in May 2015. 7. Arnolfini Portrait Artist, Jan van Eyck Year, 1434. Jan van Eyck was a Flemish painter, one of the most important artists of the early Northern Renaissance. Arnolfini Portrait, his most famous work, is a full-length double portrait, likely depicting the Italian merchant Giovanni di Niccolao di Arnolfini and his wife. The painting is also known as the Arnolfini Wedding. The woman in the painting is not Arnolfini's first wife, Costanza Trenta, who had passed away in 1433. From 1861 to the 1990s, it was believed that the woman depicted was Giovanna Cenami. However, in 1994, it was discovered that Giovanni Arnolfini and Giovanna Cenami were married in 1447. 6 years after Van Eyck's death. Therefore, her identity remains a mystery. The Arnolfini portrait is considered one of the most original and complex paintings in Western art. It is particularly noted for its beauty, intricate symbolism, and the precise use of convex mirror reflection techniques. 6. Portrait of Adele BLOCH-BAUER artist, Gustav Klimt. Year 1907. Gustav Klimt was an Austrian painter and one of the most famous artists of his time. He achieved remarkable success during his golden phase, during which he painted this iconic portrait. The model in the painting, Adele BLOCH-BAUER, was the wife of Ferdinand BLOCH-BAUER, a wealthy Jewish banker and sugar producer. At the age of 25, portrait of Adele BLOCH-BAUER I, also known as the Woman in Gold, was confiscated by the Nazis in 1941. Many years later, Adele's niece, Maria Altmann, fought a 7-year legal battle against the Austrian government to reclaim the family's iconic portrait in 2006. In the same year, portrait of Adele BLOCH-BAUER was sold for $135 million, setting a new record as the highest price ever paid for a painting at that time. As of August 2017, it ranked 12th on the list of the highest prices paid for a painting. 5. The Two Frida Artists, Frida Kahlo. Year 1939. Frida Kahlo was a renowned Mexican painter, known for her self-portraits that often combined symbolic imagery related to physical and emotional pain. She had a tumultuous relationship with another famous Mexican artist, Diego Rivera, during their marriage, separation, and subsequent remarriage. The Two Fridas was created during Kahlo's divorce from Diego Rivera, depicting her sense of loss. It is a double self-portrait. The Frida on the left is wearing a European-style white dress with a torn, bleeding heart, while the Frida on the right is wearing a traditional Mexican dress with an intact heart. Kahlo remarried Rivera a year later, and despite the challenges in their second marriage, it lasted until her death. This painting remains Kahlo's magnum opus and her most famous work. 4. The Night Watch Artist, Rembrandt van Rijn. Year 1642. Rembrandt van Rijn is considered one of the greatest artists in history. The Night Watch depicts Captain Frans Banning Koch and 17 members of his civic guard company. The painting's original title, assigned by the company, was Captain Frans Banning Koch and Lieutenant Willem van Ruytenburch. However, due to the dark background creating an illusion, it became known as the Night Watch. The painting features 34 characters, a colossal masterpiece depicting the company, led by Koch and Ruytenburch, advancing towards the viewer. Its reputation is based on several factors, including its enormous size, 11.91 feet times 14.34 feet, the vibrant, dynamic, and realistic portraits, Rembrandt's masterful use of light and shadow, and Rembrandt's ability to make viewers feel that the painting's figures are about to step out of the frame and into real space. The Night Watch is one of the most famous group portraits and is considered not only Rembrandt's but also the pinnacle of Dutch Golden Age painting. 3. Girl with a Pearl Earring artist, Johannes Vermeer. Year 1665. Johannes Vermeer is perhaps the most renowned artist of the Dutch Golden Age after Rembrandt. Girl with a Pearl Earring, his most famous work, depicts a European girl wearing a peculiar dress, an oriental turban, and a large pearl earring. There is limited information about Jan Vermeer's life, and little is known about the girl who modelled for the painting. However, Girl with a Pearl Earring is one of the most famous portraits ever created and is often referred to as the Mona Lisa of the North. The mystery surrounding the painting adds to its fame. In 1999, American novelist Tracy Chevalier wrote a historical novel of the same title, fictionalizing the creation of Vermeer's masterpiece. It was later adapted into a film of the same name, earning 3 Academy Award nominations. 2. Las Menines artist, Diego Velázquez year, 1656. Regarded as one of the most significant paintings of all time, Las Menines depicts the central figure of the painting, 5-year-old Infanta Margarita Teresa. Margarita is surrounded by maids-in-waiting, a bodyguard, 2 dwarfs, and a dog. On the left, Velázquez portrays himself holding a brush. Above the princess's head, there is a mirror reflecting her parents, King Philip IV of Spain and Queen Mariana of Austria, who appear in the position of the viewer. Velázquez likely portrayed the scene of painting the royal couple. Las Menines has been hailed as a representation of the theology of painting and the true philosophy of art. Diego Velázquez is considered one of the most influential painters in European history, and Las Menines is regarded as his ultimate achievement. It is one of the most analysed paintings in Western art history. 1. Mona Lisa artist, Leonardo da Vinci year, 1517. Leonardo da Vinci is considered a brilliant figure of the Italian Renaissance, mastering various aspects of art. The Mona Lisa is praised as one of the most well-known, visited, written about, sung about, and parodied works of art in the world. Particularly, its fame is attributed to the enigmatic smile on the woman's face, which is why it is also known as La Gioconda, meaning the joyful one. Based on records from an early biographer, the painting depicts Lisa Gherardini, the real-life wife of a wealthy merchant, for Da Vinci. The Mona Lisa remained a work in progress, representing his continuous pursuit of perfection. The painting was never sold during Da Vinci's lifetime. Instead, he kept it with him until his death. The Guinness World Records lists the Mona Lisa as having the highest known insurance valuation for a painting in history. It was assessed at $100 million in 1962, equivalent to approximately $790 million in 2016, adjusted for inflation